This is a stimulus check update. President Trump just said that Senate Republicans will go along with his new $1.8 trillion stimulus package, which offers $1,200 and $1,000 stimulus checks. And the newest addition to it is that it's going to offer student loan forgiveness. Before we get started, if you could do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more straight to the point stimulus updates. I hope you're having a great day so far. So President Trump was on a Fox News Sunday interview saying that he no longer has the coronavirus. He's ready to hit the campaign trail, and he said, yes, and not only that, it seems like I'm immune, so I can go way out of a basement, which I would have done anyway. He then says, the president is in very good shape to fight the battles. I beat this crazy, horrible China virus. I passed the highest test, the highest standards, and I'm in great shape. And I have to tell you, I feel fantastically. I feel really good. More specifically on stimulus, when asked about that and what's happening with stimulus, if we're going to have a stimulus before the election, he says, Republicans want to do it. We're having a hard time with Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Republicans want to do it. He said, we're ready to go. We're all ready to go. We can't get Nancy Pelosi to sign the document. So what President Trump is talking about is his new $1.8 trillion stimulus package. I'll go into more detail on that in a little bit. Also, President Trump had another interview last Friday on the Rush Limbaugh radio show, and he said he wants a bigger stimulus package, frankly, than either the Democrats or Republicans are offering. So bigger than the Republicans, that's easy because the last package was $500 billion, but bigger than the Democrats is a little harder because the current Democratic package is $2.2 trillion, and Nancy Pelosi has all the leverage in this situation. President Trump is begging for a new stimulus to happen, for everyone to get stimulus checks, not only to help the American people, but it'll greatly help out his re-election efforts. Nancy Pelosi responded to this statement saying that when the president talks about wanting a bigger relief package, his proposal appears to mean that he wants more money at his discretion to grant or withhold. Basically, Nancy Pelosi is saying that yes, President Trump wants more money, Democrats want more money, but without the Senate Republicans being on board, it's going to be very hard to have a stimulus package passed. Of course, President Trump wants more money, but unfortunately, President of the United States doesn't have control over the money or sending out stimulus checks. It's up to Congress, which is why they passed a new, or they not passed, but they offering a new $1.8 trillion stimulus package. The last stimulus package was $1.6 trillion. Now this one is $1.8 trillion. This new $1.8 trillion stimulus package is going to offer $300 billion for state and local aid. It's going to offer $1,200 stimulus checks and then $1,000 checks for any child dependents. We don't know about adult dependents yet. And then it's going to offer $400 per week unemployment benefits. And the latest addition that we found out about it is that it's going to offer student loan forgiveness. So with student loan forgiveness, it's going to give $25 billion for student loans to be forgiven. We don't know what the criteria is yet, who gets it, how much they're getting. All we know is that it's going to be $25 billion. And that is, just to give you a number, we have $1.7 trillion in outstanding student loans for the millions of Americans we have in this country. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about the new White House proposal offering student loan forgiveness? Even though it's just $25 billion, is that enough? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you even have student loans? Does this matter to you? Let me know down in the comments below as well. So the biggest obstacle to getting stimulus checks out to the American people and stimulus to businesses in America is going to be the Senate Republicans. So White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow even said that Senate Republicans will go along with the $1.8 trillion White House stimulus proposal, despite the pushback. And I'll tell you what the pushback was from the Republicans. When asked on Sunday whether he thought a coronavirus stimulus bill is dead, he then responded saying Republicans in the Senate put up their own bill a few weeks ago and got 53 votes, referring to the skinny package, which was $500 billion with no stimulus check. He then said, I think if an agreement can be reached, they will go along with it. He then says, well, or actually Jake Tapper then says, well, I'm not talking about your Democratic friends because Democrats are all on board for more stimulus money. He then says, I'm talking about the 20 Senate Republicans who were mad at Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin saying that the proposal of 1.8 trillion was way too much. He then responds saying, I think if we could get this thing settled on the Democratic side, we will get it settled on the Republican side. There will still be further efforts of negotiations, perhaps today, but certainly this coming week. So, saying that the blame is on the Democrats not wanting to go along with this stimulus proposal, which is true. Nancy Pelosi shot down that $1.8 trillion stimulus package, which is a shame because Nancy Pelosi has a lot of leverage and power in this negotiation going on between everybody. She has stood firm to her $2.2 trillion stimulus package, but not going down to 1.8 trillion. I think this 1.8 trillion is probably the best it's going to get to have something go out before the election. Nancy Pelosi is saying no, she still wants higher numbers and she wants more details on coronavirus testing. I think we just need to go with this $1.8 trillion stimulus package, get stimulus checks out already. It's better to have a little now than nothing never. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Is this $1.8 trillion package good to go now, or should we hold off for the $2.2 trillion stimulus package? So moving on, let's talk about what is the backlash from the Senate Republicans. So Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee responding to the $1.8 trillion White House stimulus package, saying there's no appetite right now to spend the White House number or the House number. The White House number, 1.8 trillion, as I mentioned before. The House number, which was referring to the Problem Solvers Caucus bill, which is 1.5 trillion. Republican senators, as I mentioned before, there's a good 20 of them who don't want any stimulus money whatsoever. The main reason here is because Senate Republicans are not up for election. There's maybe a handful of them, but the ones who are up for election, like Susan Collins, Lindsey Graham, they're saying, yes, please, let's give more stimulus to the American people. Meanwhile, the other Senate Republicans are saying, nope, we don't need to give any more stimulus to the American people. Our jobs aren't at risk. We're not up for re-election. Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming warned that the backing relief of this legislation is widening the reach of the Affordable Care Act and will be viewed as an enormous betrayal by our supporters. So Affordable Care Act, basically Obamacare, anything Obamacare, anything to do with that, Senate Republicans general are going to go against it. Also, Rick Scott of Florida, he said, I don't get it. Basically talking about the price tag and why it's so big. There still are many more Senate Republicans who are not up for re-election who are criticizing this $1.8 trillion White House bill. The Republicans that are in the House of Representatives are all for stimulus because they are all up for re-election. So President Trump really should focus his energy on trying to convince the Senate Republicans to be on board for this $1.8 trillion stimulus package, because if they are, then it's there'll be much more pressure on Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to pass this $1.8 trillion stimulus package. So I got a great comment from Lorinda Peterson saying, so it's still all about the election, not about the people. So sad. Unfortunately, you're right, Lorinda. The people who are up for re-election as Republicans, those are the ones who support the stimulus, and the ones who aren't are against the stimulus and could care less because their jobs are secure and they're more focused on their own jobs as opposed to the American people. You hit it on the nail there. Also, Stephen Moore, which is an advisor to President Trump, is saying that the economy does not need a $2 trillion stimulus package. Basically saying, the economy really is showing signs of picking up. I don't care what the newspapers say. It doesn't matter what the newspapers are saying. It's about the millions of Americans who are struggling, barely able to pay for their own food to feed their family, barely able to pay for rent. We have 40 million Americans who are on the brink of eviction just in a couple of months if nothing is done for them. He said, at this point, I'm not sure we need $2 trillion stimulus. I think the fourth quarter will be just as strong as the third quarter. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. The same way we couldn't predict the coronavirus lasting this long and devastating our country and the world is the same way we can't predict what's going to happen in the fourth quarter. This stimulus money is basically going to save American people and American businesses. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To cheer up your mood a little bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, guys, I didn't see you there. Hi, guys, this is Bella's tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do when you feel something. When you feel something like happy or sad, tell someone. Be exposed. Show the whole world what you feel. Sorry, I was dreaming. So, anyways, that was all I wanted to say for today. Bye.
And if you want 2 free stocks, you could sign up through Webull down in the description below. If you want a 3rd free stock, you could sign up through Robinhood. Free stocks, free money. I highly recommend it. Also, if you want to escape the rat race and you want to become financially independent and achieve financial freedom, I highly recommend watching my latest video on my Wise Sense channel. It's a financial channel that goes through these 6 different levels of financial freedom. It's not just about going from $0 to $1 million. It's important for you to know these 6 different levels. This way you know how you could slowly work towards being financially free and not having to rely on a job or anything. So you could click this video right over here on my Wise Sense channel and you can learn about those 6 levels of financial freedom. And I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.